Okay, I'm gonna start this video with a little story. I probably mentioned this before in a couple videos. Full disclosure, when I used to go to New York City, seldom, but I go to New York City, I would carry a folding knife, usually my Smith& and Wesson at that time. I would carry my Smith& and Wesson folding knife. Now, this is not directed at all New York City cops, but there were a few oath breakers in New York City. Keep in mind that 30,000 to 40,000 sworn officers, you're going to get an oath breaker here and there. There were a few oath breakers in New York City that would stop law-abiding citizens. It's one thing if you're following a gang member or a drug dealer, and a lot of times you have a cop that's like, I know that guy's a criminal, but I gotta find the reason to stop him. I have to find some way to stop him. This wasn't about that. You had law-abiding guys in New York City walking around. These were college guys, working class guys, just regular guys like you, me, and anybody else. They'd have a pocket knife on their pocket, and an oath breaker would take the knife and shake it. No thumb stud, no thumb hole, no flipper. He would just shake the knife. And if he could shake the knife open, he would charge them with either possession of a switchblade or a gravity knife, depending on what day it was. And like I said, it's one thing if you have a guy you know is a drug dealer and you gotta stop him for that reason. I mean, they have cops that'll pull a guy over and be like, oh shit, you got a air freshener on your mirror. That's a ticket. Ah, I smell cocaine in this car. Okay? But no, this is not about that. This is about you're bothering law-abiding people. And like I said, most New York City cops will not bother with this. I know for a fact, walking down the street in New York City, carrying a knife in my pocket, I passed New York City cops. This is during my college days, or when I went back to college, my 20s. Anyway, Knife Rights sued in federal court, and they basically overturned the so-called policy, if not call it a law. And so the so-called gravity knife, I mean, these weren't even gravity. It was like a single hand opening knife with a thumb stud or a flipper or a thumb hole. And they would just take it and shake it really hard and open it. And there was one report where a cop would stand, an oath breaker would stand there for a half hour shaking a knife. If he couldn't open it, let the guy go. There was one guy who was stopped by 3 oath breakers. 2 couldn't open the knife, 1 could. And they would get charged with a misdemeanor, like a Class A misdemeanor, which is like right below a felony. It goes Class A misdemeanor, then it goes to felony. They have the knife taken away from them, they pay a fine, community service. It's a criminal charge. So the lawsuit overturned this stupid policy. Now, by definition, gravity knives didn't even exist. Gravity knives existed in World War II. I think it was the French paratroopers. You have a knife, a manual out the front knife. Okay, it's a knife. It has a button. You hold it upside down, hit the button, and gravity drops the blade out. Okay? They were discontinued. They're still outdated, let's be realistic about that. And yeah, but now after this law's overturned, some companies are actually making actual gravity knives. Now New York City still says don't bring it on the subway. Yeah, because the subways are so safe and all. But gravity knives are by definition legal. Now, I decided I'm gonna buy one. I did good this year financially, made a lot of money, worked real hard. I'm gonna buy one. This was Paragon knives by Asheville Steel, which is it was like on sale at Blaze. He was like $375 and got a free knife with it. Blade S35VN 5NH-RC Cerakote, handle 6061, aluminum Cerakote, pocket clip 6AL4VTI, made in USA by Hypercut Manufacturing. Okay. There are several different colors: blue, red, stainless steel. Now this is what you do. You take this, hold it like this. The button's here. Move your fingers out of the way. Hit the button. Knife drops out. Trying to do this on camera now. There it goes. Hit the button again, and it closes. Hey. Okay. Now, by definition, I have no intention of carrying that anywhere. I bought it to be a safe queen. I bought it because I could buy it. You know, why did Rosa Parks need to sit in the front seat? She didn't. Okay, why do black kids need to go to school with white kids? They don't. Okay, it's not about need. Okay, so I bought that because I could. Now, I have no intention of carrying it because it's not that practical. I mean, that it's basically a fuck you thing, because now that we're gonna buy it. Okay, any single hand open knife is gonna be faster to deploy. And not deploy for combat, deploy for just cutting things. Realistically speaking, if you need a combat knife, a knife to defend yourself, and yes, you can use a knife to defend yourself, full disclosure, you can only use a knife if you honestly believe your life is in imminent danger. Full disclosure, from a legal standpoint, there is no difference between using a knife or a gun to defend yourself. A knife is a deadly weapon, a gun is a deadly weapon. If you stab someone and claim self-defense, it is the same exact process when you shoot someone and claim self-defense. They ask the same exact questions in the same exact order. But if you want to talk about knives for self-defense, and I have my the one that Boone designed, the Ascari from Bastinelli knives. Yes. You need a fixed blade knife for self-defense, because if your life is in imminent danger, if you're about to die, you might have an injured arm and not be able to open the folding knife. You might be using the knife with your weak hand and not be able to open the folding. I can't open a folding knife with my weak hand. I can't. Okay? So, and that was the fear that the Democrats in New York City went by. Now, gravity knives were illegal, even though they hadn't been used since World War II. And New York City had oath breakers that were interpreting gravity knives as blah, 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 because they wanted to. And the Democrat policymakers, the Democrat state legislators, the Democrat mayors, they were saying, well, gravity knives are very, very, very dangerous weapons because they can be easily deployed, blah, 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 bullshit. Well, here's the problem. A kitchen knife is a deadly weapon. A hammer is a deadly weapon. A rock is a deadly weapon. A set of keys on a rope is a deadly weapon. Okay? A sock with a master lock in it is a deadly weapon. That's the first thing. The second thing is someone who, for some reason, needs to hurt an innocent person. I have to throw an old lady down a flight of stairs. I have to push a baby carriage in front of an oncoming train. Okay? Those people do not give a fuck about your laws. They don't. Okay? But Also, it's not faster to deploy. Period. Okay, I'm gonna prove it again. Watch. Watch. Hit the button. It drops down. Okay. I have to maintain the downward angle with it. And I have to maintain the button being closed with it. Yeah. That was the first time I got it on the first try. You have to hold like this. Because if you hold like this, it doesn't work as good. Where's the blade now? See? Or you know what? I'm left-handed. So if you're right-handed, okay. If you're right-handed, you're gonna come like this and hold it. So if you're right-handed, the pocket clip faces away from you. Okay? If you're left-handed, the pocket clip faces towards you. Okay? Hold like this. Go like that. And drop it. Okay? So that's gonna be a safe queen. Okay? My Bastinelli is still my EDC. And realistically speaking, it's not practical. It's cool, but it's not practical. Okay? A single action revolver is awesome, but it's not practical. Because when a guy breaks into your house, you gotta pull out the hammer, fire, pull out the hammer, fire, pull out the hammer, fire, pull out the hammer. Okay? It's not practical. So this is a fad. I indulged in it. I'm glad I bought it because reasons and stuff. But it's a fad. Okay? That's the truth. Thank you. Bye.